Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is my spoilery discussion for The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. As I said, this video will have spoilers in it, so if you haven't read this book, go ahead and check out my spoiler-free review, which is linked on the screen. So this is a discussion of this final book, but also just kind of the series as a whole. So as many people were, I feel like I was a little bit disappointed in this last finale. I wasn't as deeply invested as a lot of other people were, because as many of you probably know, I didn't love The Cruel Prince. I liked Wicked King, but just more of like as a fun thing. Like this wasn't one of my favorite series, but I do find the series fun and continued with it, obviously, and I'm excited that I read the whole thing, but was just not one that I was deeply invested in, so it being like disappointing was not the most disappointing thing for me. So there were a lot of things that I liked about this book, but overall I found like there were individual scenes that I really liked, and that the story itself just fell a little flat for me, or was just kind of like half-baked in my opinion. I really feel like this could have been 4 books, or this book could have been slightly longer, and that I would have felt a little bit more like payoff from this conclusion. I really enjoyed the character of Grima Mogg and Jude's fight with her, and then her being brought in throughout the story. I just really liked her and her being a red cap and all of that kind of stuff. So she was a really fun addition that I enjoyed. But like I said in my review, I kind of feel like a lot of our existing characters changed their personality a bit for this last book. I feel like there needed to be some resolution with these characters, so they had to get to this point, but they got to this point like kind of too quickly, and I didn't quite believe that. So like Jude and Taryn's relationship sort of reforming quickly, and there being like, there always was love there, but I just feel like that turnaround was fairly quick. I'm a little sad that the Locke death was off page and that it was through Taryn, although I'm kind of glad it was through Taryn because she deserved that too, but like I just wanted a little bit more resolution with that than we got. So again, if we would have had 4 books, then that could have happened in book 3, whatever. So that was a little like whatever. And then a lot of just the other characters just felt more like good in this book. And what I kind of like about this series is that all of the characters are unapologetically morally gray to bad. And the fact that we're having these characters not quite that in this book, kind of out of nowhere, was not what I would have wanted. I found the resolution of the Maddock and Jude stuff kind of disappointing. I really like their really like tortured dynamic of her being like his child that he sort of raised in like battle and conniving and all of this stuff, and that he was like, you're this worthy opponent. And they did have a couple of little like, you know, clashes there, but I would have liked like a bigger clash with that, and I just felt like that didn't really live up to my expectations, what I would have wanted to see between them. And also just like the Carden stuff was similar for me. I know that they always had this like understanding and connection, but again, I feel like a longer book or a 4th book would have made the transition from this like sort of like lustful connection they had in Wicked King, where they were starting to trust each other, into this like partnership that they had in this book. I feel like we needed like one more step between those things, because there was so much distrust even in the beginning of this book, because she didn't understand the loophole that he made for her, even though she's like, this loophole would make sense, but I still think he's tricking me and all that stuff. I kind of thought that was funny, but I just feel like we could have had just like a little bit more transition there, and I would have liked it more. Did I like a lot of the scenes with them? Yes. Like I mentioned in my review, I find the fandom for this and the art for this series really great. I find a lot of the individual scenes really awesome. I just really like the fan art and what this book has brought out in artists and stuff, but was still just, they're not an OTP couple for me. Sorry. I do enjoy them, kind of fun, but again, this book, just like the transition there was just too sudden. And also like he gets turned into a snake like pretty quickly after them like reuniting, and that was a whole weird thing too. I thought that was really funny though, because I saw, after I was looking stuff up for this after I finished it, about Holly Black, it said like a whole spoiler kind of like she'll kiss him after she cuts his head off, about like Jude and Carden, and people were like, or after she kills him or whatever, and it was like she did have to do that in the story. But the whole like giant snake thing was like, I don't know, just like a little much too. Again, maybe if we had another book, like I just feel like another book or a longer book would have resolved potentially a lot of the things that I didn't so much like here. I even think some of the like side character stuff with like, is it her name Nicasia? I forget. Even some of that relationship dynamic where like her and Jude kind of come to an understanding. That could have been like a slower, more fleshed out thing. I think the stuff with Jude's sister and her girlfriend could have also been like a little more, like I just wanted more. Like it wasn't like this was bad necessarily. Like I wasn't upset by it, but I just was like, oh, if this would have been tweaked a little bit more, or if it had it slightly more time, I would have liked it more. It just felt like the big build up to the betrayal and like trying to steal the crown and all this stuff. Like I just felt like we needed more payoff from that and like a larger thing than what actually ended up happening. But I do love that the throne got split into 2 thrones and now they have like equal thrones and they're equal partners and all of that. That stuff is all chef's kiss, very good. But again, I just found this slightly lacking. I also find these books to be like a little bit forgettable in some ways. Like I really hold on to those like aesthetic scenes that you see in the fan art and things. But I read this book the beginning of February and it's like the 21st or 22nd when I'm filming this. And it's just like a lot of it is just gone because I just held on to those angsty scenes and just let the rest of it kind of float away because I just didn't care enough. That's just me though. So I did mention this in my review, but as far as ranking these books, my favorite is The Wicked King, then Queen of Nothing, and then Cruel Prince, in case you're wondering. So those are my thoughts overall on The Queen of Nothing. So comment down below and let me know your thoughts on Queen of Nothing and the whole series. Thank you all for watching and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.